Back up.
She came on the mat and grabbed the kid.
Who did?
She grabbed our kid.
Who did?
Shout out to Donna Asante for tagging me in this post. Now, this came to me on my Instagram page, and you just saw this clip right here. And actually, what I had to do was I had to go onto YouTube and find the full clip. And this actually, in honesty, isn't even the full clip, and I'm going to explain why in a second. So, apparently, there was this wrestling match that happened at this school, or a school went to another location. And the name of the place is called Black Silverback Academy. And what you saw in the video, there was a black child and a white child wrestling right there, you know, to win their particular match. And when the white kid was clearly about to lose, in comes the white mother and tries to pull the black kid off of her son. That was her son that was being pinned down by the black child. And then you see some people run over to push the woman off of them, because, you know, that's basically interference. And, you know, that should be an automatic disqualification for her son. And the person that ran over to push the woman off of the child was the coach for the team in which the black boy was on. So you would think naturally that the the white kid would get disqualified, but that unfortunately was not the case. What ended up happening is that white chick and her son threw on the waterworks and everything like that and put herself immediately into the victim role. That not only did the black kid and the whole team lose the match because they disqualified the team, but they also ended up not disqualifying, but escorting the coach, the black coach, out of the area or off the premises of where the match took place. I said, are you fucking kidding me? Now let me go ahead and read to you this little write-up that's underneath the video on Instagram, and I thought this was very interesting. A Black Silverback Academy wrestling coach was removed from school property after stopping a white female parent from laying hands on a young black athlete just as he was about to win a match against her child. A growing number of white parents feel uncomfortable with their kids competing against blacks in sports they deemed quote-unquote white sports, such as wrestling, hockey, and water polo. A recent Sports Illustrated poll found many white parents believe black children are bigger, stronger, and more aggressive in sports. Young whites are unsure of their place in athletics and are losing their self-confidence, so racial slurs and cheating is seen as a justified response to even out the playing field. Now that little write-up right there says a whole lot. It might have been a quick read, but it pretty much laid out something that we as black people have been knowing for a long time. When it comes to genetics, and that's something we can't help, when it comes to genetics, our bone density and our muscle mass is way different than that of a white person. And white people for years used to always think that their bone density and muscle mass was greater than ours. It's right there in that Sports Illustrated article, and these were from parents who said that. These weren't grown adults saying it about themselves. They were saying this about kids. They were saying this about children. So that's why they hate, or they did do a lot of things to keep us out of certain sports. Why do you think that when it comes to football, whether it's on a collegiate or professional level, or basketball, whether it's on a collegiate or professional level, that is dominated by black men? It's because those are the only two sports that they want to regulate us to. That's why whenever you go and watch the Olympics and you see black people competing in certain sports or events that you would never ever seen them in, especially in the establishment, it is shocking all to us because we never really get to see that in real time. When's the last time you've seen a black rugby player or a population of a lot of American black soccer players? Or an influx of black hockey players, even though the first hockey team that was kicked off was a pretty much majority black team, and I believe they were out of Canada. That's why hockey has a huge Canadian fan base. and and a host of other sports. And see, the thing is, they made it cheap for kids if they want to do little league or anything like that. They regulated to football and basketball. When it comes to kids wanting to play hockey and stuff like that, when you think of all the equipment, that stuff is expensive. And sometimes you have to travel extra far to get there. Like, you don't find a lot of hockey clubs or anything like that in urban areas. You have to go out to the damn suburbs sometimes to get to the closest one to you. So they regulate football and basketball to just black kids, and they put them in certain areas for a reason. It says it right here. They deem water polo, hockey, and wrestling, just to name a few, as white sports, because they see our children as bigger, stronger. Hell, you can throw in faster, because when it comes to track, we pretty much dominate in that too. That's another sport that they like to regulate us to as well. If you don't believe me, look at a majority black high school. Let's say high school. And look at all the sports programs that they have. It's usually basketball, football, track. You might have a softball team in there for the girls and a baseball team for the boys, but you will always have those three: track, track and field, basketball and football. You go to a white school, basketball, football, track, swim team, soccer, wrestling, rugby. What's that one on the lacrosse? Tell me I'm lying. It's like I said, it's a reason why they keep black kids regulated to certain sports, and that with what I just read proved it to me. But I already knew that. But hey, it's best to sometimes get it out of the horse's mouth. But as for that parent, for that mother, she is extremely fucked up for that. How fucking dare she interrupt little kids? These are little kids. I don't know what I would do if she was to grab on my child and pull my child off in the middle of his match. I would have ran over to them too. And shout out to the coach for actually, running over and handling business, because you don't put your hands on my athlete. You don't. If your son is losing, let him lose. Losing is a part of life. And now they're probably going to say, well, the black kid was being too aggressive. It's wrestling. You're supposed to be aggressive. It's a very intense contact sport. You acting like it was a boy wrestling a girl, or another kid outside of his weight class or even outside of his age class wrestling him. And that wasn't. They were both in the same weight class. They were probably around the same age. It was evenly matched. The black boy was about to win. And this doesn't surprise me too, because think of all the stories in which majority black kids on a team, baseball team or whatever, have won championships. One comes to mind. I think it was out of Chicago, or maybe it was somewhere in the Midwest. It was the Jackie Robinson Little League team, all black team, and they won that championship. And who got butt hurt? A grown ass white man. And he decided that he was going to go and tell the officials all types of stuff, saying, oh, they pulled them from a different district, meaning they weren't local, so they can't qualify. And then what ended up happening? They took that man's word and they stripped the title from that team. And they worked hard, and the only reason he did it is because that Jackie Robinson the Jackie Robinson Little League team beat his team. That was the only reason. And they took their title away from him. And I think what ended up happening, karma came back for his ass, because some shit came out about him, and he ended up getting fired as the damn coach. So he didn't even have enough time to enjoy his glory of being a snitch. I'm sick of this shit. Like, that shit really pisses me off. And I don't even mean to get upset or get riled up with this, but these are kids. And these grown ass individuals are acting more childish than the kids that they're supposed to be raising. Her child is going to have to learn how to take his lumps in life. That shit pissed me off, watching her move onto that mat and pull that black child up off of her child. She act like the child was about to try to kill him. That wasn't what was about to happen. But I'm so glad that the coach ran in and did what he did. But then, of course, like I said, in typical white woman fashion, she had to throw on the waterworks, and then she had to throw herself into the victim mode and act like what she did wasn't wrong. She and her child should have been disqualified, and she should have been removed from the premises. But they removed the black guy because, you know, that big black boogeyman narrative comes into play all the goddamn time. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one.